Link TV, connecting you to the world. Link TV is viewer supported. Watch more at linktv.org.
Direct talks between the Palestinians and Israel might collapse. Will Netanyahu agree to extend the settlement freeze? And does the prospect for a Palestinian state remain viable?
Answers to these questions and more on Link TV's Mosaic Intelligence Report.
U.S. Special Envoy George Mitchell has been frantically shuttling between Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas in Ramallah and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu in Jerusalem in order to salvage the month-old direct negotiations. The European Union's foreign policy chief, Catherine Ashton, has also been recruited to throw the weight of the EU behind the peace efforts. Even President Obama himself has been personally involved trying to find common ground between the parties.
I call upon Israelis and Palestinians and the world to rally behind the goal that these leaders now share. Now is the time for the parties to help each other overcome this obstacle.
In fact, in order to secure Israel's support for a 60-day settlement building moratorium extension, the Obama administration, in a draft letter, has offered a string of assurances to Israel ranging from current peace and security matters to future weapons deliveries in the event that peace-related security arrangements are reached. The details of the letter were published on the Washington Institute for Near East Policy website. According to Haaretz, the United States is reportedly incensed over Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's rejection of the draft letter. Equally incensed is the head of the Palestinian negotiation team, Saeb Ariqat, who said on Wednesday that there are no halfway solutions on the settlements issue.
The entire world is now watching. The international community was the one to issue the quartet's statement, which we accepted. President Abu Mazen advised the Americans that in the event Israel continues to build settlements after September 26th, we will not take part in the direct talks.
Ariqat and other PA officials have been recently hinting to a Palestinian walkout on the negotiations if Israel refuses to stop building settlements in the West Bank and Jerusalem. To make matters worse, Israeli Foreign Minister Avigdor Lieberman, who lives in a West Bank settlement, revived his plan for population exchange before the UN General Assembly.
Let me be very clear. I'm not speaking about moving populations, but rather about moving borders to better reflect demographic realities.
He suggested ceding parts of Israel with large Arab populations to a future Palestinian state in exchange for Israel keeping large settlement blocks in the West Bank. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has distanced himself from the speech, but many Palestinians believe that this is part of a well-coordinated good cop, bad cop strategy. They also regard the remarks as incitement and advocacy of ethnic cleansing. A recent poll released by the Jerusalem Media and Communications Center revealed that 54% of respondents said that the direct talks serve the national interests of the Palestinians. However, 58% said they believe the Palestinian leadership agreed to hold the talks because of external pressure. And more than 55% said that they did not expect the talks to produce major changes in the status quo. But there are rapid changes happening on the ground. Israeli building crews have already resumed work the day after the settlement freeze expired at several settlements, such as Ariel, Oranit, Tekoa, and Adam. Jewish settlers account for just 1% of the population of the West Bank, according to Dutch cartographer Jan de Jong, but are claiming 60% of the land. De Jong, who has been monitoring changes on the ground through satellite imagery and other means, says that construction was going on in the settlements even during the 10-month building moratorium, which has just expired. There are building work every day except on Jewish holidays. That's why I call it a virtual moratorium, he said.
This is an American issue. Our position is clear. The settlement freeze is the responsibility of Israel and has agreed to it numerous times in the agreements. We don't have to pay the price for Israel to stop these illegal acts that range from land theft to changing the reality on the ground.
The way things are progressing now, should the direct talks continue, a virtual Palestinian state might be the end result. I'm Jamal Dajani for the Mosaic Intelligence Report.
For more about this program or to share your thoughts, visit us at linktv.org/me. Stay up to date on the Middle East. Follow Jamal at twitter.com/JamalDajani.
This program is brought to you by Link TV for educational and non-commercial use only. Link TV is the only U.S. network dedicated to global and national news, uncompromising documentaries, and diverse cultural programs which connect you to the world.